The festival is nigh!
Let's go ahead and get started then. Dino versus Rambler. Here we go. Stocko, center square.
Cracked pots. I don't think we've seen that yet.
I will go with Tree Scent Duo as the center square. And 2 Cemetery Shades is the center square. If there are Catacombs or Spirit Ash +4 on the board, it would combo nicely. However, after a quick glance, I don't see either of those squares, but definitely an interesting center square because it can be done right away or can be delayed. As always, though, we'll start with looking at the fastest squares on the board. In row 1, Falling Star Beast is a very difficult early fight, but a fast one if you can do it early. Additionally, you will get a Somber 4, 5, and 6 from inside and right outside of the cave. Box Needle, another very fast one. You just got to do Box Little quest line right at the start of the game. In row 2, not the fastest square, but Top's Academy Key is always a great starter square because of the map progress in runes that it gives you in Academy. Additionally, we also have Radagon's and Godfrey's icons on the board, which does necessitate Academy, so a bit of synergy as well on that row 2. In row 3, Cemetery Shades can be done very quickly or can be delayed. We'll probably see it done earlier because it is the center square. Also 3 Cave or Grottos, so not the fastest square, but a very quick one. However, when it's 3, you probably are looking for a bit of synergy and not just straight up rushing it. Nothing super fast on the row 4, but we do have 4 Status Effect Ashes of War, a strong square for map progression, as well as Godric's Great Rune. So if there is an early reason to kill Godric, that could go off the board earlier. And finally, I think the fastest square on the board here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Kill a Boss consumables only. That can be done very, very quickly and would also give you a cave. Normally that is done on Bofa, Beastman of Farum Azula. So the cave will be very, very nice for that one to make progress towards the 3 Caves square as well, which is on the same line, column 1.
Yeah, that column 1, I mean, you just said it, and I want to point it out and make sure everyone sees it. That column 1, if you're able to get consumables and Falling Star Beast, the rest kind of just falls into place with avatars, physic flasks, and then caves. It could be deadly, it could be an easy block too, but there's a lot of synergy on that column 1.
Yeah, avatars and physic flasks is a very, very strong synergy. Bofa as a cave. The Falling Star Beast is a tunnel, not a cave, but still. Right. A quick, easy square that could be a very, very fast line if either player decides to go for it. Also, we do see an immediate divergence in starting class. Rambler going for the Bastard Sword with the Divine Bird Helms. That Divine Bird Helm will give him extra stats at the cost of slightly reduced heals. Meanwhile, Dino went with the Broadsword. Square. If you do not know, Square Off is super, super popular and super strong for early game bingo. Broadsword being probably one of the best weapons you can get in a starting class, but no stat boosting helmet.
Yeah, interesting choices. I would say this board's pretty well balanced. Either weapon is fine. Square Off is arguably stronger. So Square Off kind of speaks Falling Star Beast to me, but we're going to see if Dino does that.
Yeah, Square Off will be better on Falling Star Beast, but that I did not see exactly what their starting stats were, but I do know that the Divine Bird Helm increases dexterity by 4 and strength by 3. So starting strength and dex are very important for the consumables only square. And most likely Rambler would have an advantage on that because of the stat boosting. The stats on his class would have to be very poor, and Dino's very strong to make up the advantage from that helmet.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good shout. I think it's very likely Rambler had that in mind, and he is going to go for it. He needs every advantage he can get on a rush square like that. I know he knows the tech, but he always has the underdog mindset when it comes to rush squares. So we'll see if he goes for it. And
yeah, that we will. Dino a bit ahead.
Yeah. Is there stream delay? Can we confirm?
Dino's like you and refuses to have the board up, so I can't see if there is exactly, okay. But yeah, Dino is ever so slightly ahead here, a couple seconds, which will matter for consumables only.
Oh yeah.
Wonder if Rambler forgot to preload.
I know we saw Dino do it, right?
Yeah, I know Dino did it.
Yep.
Preloading, if you don't know, is a thing where you load into the game. Yeah, you're allowed to pick Vagabond and then jump off and by the Grafted Scion. It allows you to have slightly better load times coming in. And actually, we do see Dino going for consumables only, while Rambler is just going to go ahead and get Torrent, so he's not going to try to contest consumables. This is pretty on. I thought he might try to contest it here, especially with that Divine Bird Helm, but this is a pretty standard Rambler play. Rambler does not like to contest these super early rush squares. Just finds them too volatile. So instead, we'll just go ahead and get Torrent here and look to progress a different way.
Yeah, I mean, he better be thinking about Falling Star Beast or some sort of scheme with avatars or Physic Flask, because once something lights up on column 1, you better be ready to block it.
Yeah, that column 1, very, very deadly.
I do notice the unique status Ash of Wars. Rambler said he was looking for that square on this board because, simply said, it wins games.
It is a very strong square because it really incentivizes your map progression. There's Satisfact Ash of War at Fort Height, one by EG, one in Altus. A lot of good, easy ones to get. But we'll go full screen with Dino here as he goes for consumables only. Dino's getting a little far away. Yeah, it does go ahead and move up here.
Yeah, there is a damage drop-off once you're a certain distance away.
Dino might not... The damage... Dino doesn't have enough throwing daggers, I don't think.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he has to quit out.
Wow,
it's not enough. Disaster for Dino in the early game.
Really
Miscalculated his starting stats, so he didn't have enough strength or dex. The damage drop-off might have hurt him there too, and he just has to leave that square.
Oh, capital D on Disaster.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I think he can rest easy that he could. Well, he could assume the Rambler's not going for it, but that never feels good to have to run back through the cave here. So he's going to be biting himself.
And Rambler already has Torrent, is going to Celia.
Yep, here we go. Falling Star Beast play. Huge.
Yeah, I mean, now we're talking about the column 1 for Rambler, right? Because if he finds a way to get Falling Star Beast and consumables only, especially because the consumables only mark would have happened by now, so Rambler might even grab the gravity chunks and go ahead and do it that way.
Let's see. I hope he grabs them at least, because maybe he's thinking about it, because he needs to be... Well, he doesn't need to do anything, but I'd like that aggression from Rambler.
Yeah. Yeah, he does immediately go grab the Gravity Stone fans and chunks.
That's what I like to see. Really good play, well, really good just forethought for Rambler.
Yeah, this would be an absolute huge swing if Rambler goes for this right now. I mean, he's sitting, which tells me he's trying to get away from the warp zone. Granted, Dino, it looks like, is also going to be going back for consumables potentially here. No, well, we'll see. This will be very close. I think
Rambler's warping.
Yeah, this is going to be the weirdest 6-minute Falling Star beat or consumables only race.
This is awesome. This is a really good start to this game. This is
Rambler's a bit behind, but Dino's, I think, will have to sell some stuff here to get extra throwing daggers. No, he doesn't. He has enough for 40. He will have to go ahead and grab the Kukris.
He doesn't.
I think he did already.
Oh, okay. Oh, Rambler's also buying daggers. That's surprising.
I don't know. I don't know if this is enough time for Rambler to make up this difference.
Yeah, if he went for it without buying daggers. Of course, Rambler is playing the safe way and getting back up.
I mean, Debbie Human Chiefs.
I mean, what's to stop Dino from not doing enough damage this time around?
Nothing, because he has the Kukris.
Kukri.
I have him so much closer.
Much better loot, much better damage.
Yeah, he's gonna actually just get it with the daggers because he doesn't have the damage drop off.
Okay, this just hasn't been optimized by me.
Oh, but he falls out of the loop, and Rambler's getting in the fight. If Rambler has a really clean fight with these Gravity Stone chunks, he could take it as Dino gets him out of the loop.
Loop is gone. Kukri come out.
Kukri come out. I think one more throwing dagger will do it though. Yeah, and Dino does take the square.
Very close. Like I said, I think I like the aggression from Rambler. He went for it anyway, and he'll get a cave out of it. So I think it's okay.
No, he just has memory of grace. That's a mistake. And he is ahead on Falling Star and already picked up the Rot Grease. We do see Sword of Milos here in the Greatsword check. If anyone does not know, weapons are randomized in this. You can probably tell from the starting equipment. But there is some logic to it. So a Greatsword will always be a Greatsword, but it'll be a random Greatsword that is not a Remembrance weapon. There we see Sword of Milos, a very usable weapon. Not one of the best weapons, but very solid.
Very solid. I think Rambler has a soft spot for it, and Dino might too. They probably will both end up using that weapon. My prediction.
I think Dino here is looking at Box Needle. This will give him another cave with the Demi-Human family, as well as a square in column 1. That being said, Rambler's looking to shut down both of Dino's potential bingo threats, column 1 or row 1 and column 1, with the Falling Star Beast here. But no, actually, Dino just sets up Bach and looks like he might be going for Falling Star as well.
Oh, wow. Maybe hedging his bets to try and get both squares?
Maybe, seems a bit crazy when you mess up consumables only. Yeah. And have probably the latest consumables only mark we will see all year.
Yeah, no record with that one. Sorry, Dino.
All right, Rambler is getting set here for the Falling Star Beast fight. He does have the Rot Grease here, which if it does proc and you get the full 90 seconds, it does about 46% of Falling Star Beast health.
Wow. He also has chunks. I don't know if those will be used, but there's some tech there.
Does go for the chunks tech. If you hit him with the chunk while he's charging, he will stun.
Kind
of similar to Vort from Dark Souls 3.
I love it, Rambler. I love the aggression. I love the interesting plays. It's a bit risky, so it's a little out of his style, but I do like it.
Rambler gets a stagger there, and he should be able to get the Rot off here. He does. And gets the riposte as well. Meanwhile, it looks like Dino is also going for Falling Star Beast, but as long as Rambler does not die here, there's just no way that this fight is fast enough to compete. But Rambler gets caught.
Oh, snap.
And Rambler's now out of heals. He does have the Rot off.
Full health.
Nice roll by Rambler there. Falling Star Beast does hold that attack for quite a while. Dino is now in the fight as well, so we will go ahead and go to the dual screen.
Let's see
Rambler
the
gets
square
a
off.
stun. I mean, square off damage is very good, but it just cannot compete with Great Sword and the Rot already ticking. Also, Rambler's down to 20% health.
Yeah, 15, 30-second head start.
More than that.
I guess, yeah. A minute, maybe.
Dino also does not have Rot Grease. He went straight in. Rambler gets tagged, and the charge comes out.
Holy snap.
He just needs to survive here, and the Falling Star Beast will die to Rot. And there it is. Rambler will get the Falling Star Beast square in the top left corner. Dino dies anyways.
That's fine.
Nice job by Rambler.
Not sure. He died right when the square got marked, so not sure if that death was intentional or not. But regardless, doesn't really matter.
Doesn't feel good. And a Somber 6 would be a nice prize, at least for trying.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get it either.
Did still get the Somber 4, though.
That's true.
So yeah, so now first two squares both on that column 1 that Sako and I were talking about earlier. Is just a very strong synergistic synergistic line there. So good to see both players getting a block there. Very unlikely at this point to see a super fast bingo with that column 1 block.
Yeah. Now with some threats emerging, I mean, these are just simple lines that I'm pointing out, but row 1, has some synergy as well with horse bosses, Limgrave bosses, Box Needle. You could make that work, but let's see if there's something you really want to set up for. Like this game, this game doesn't seem that late. Looking at the
No,
board.
it's not super late. The only the latest square here is Valiant Guards, which is a very difficult late one. We also do have Somber 9. But overall, not a super late board. We don't see any, I don't think there are any capital squares on this board. I mean,
Wow, no,
technically
not
there are
a
some
single
things
one.
you could do in capital. Like you could actually kill the Sleeping Golem in Lane-Dell. You could do the Avatar in capital, but that's just not going to happen. Somber 9 in Lane-Dell. Like there are some things that you could do in Lane-Dell, but no capital specific squares, at least on the board here. So we'll see Rambler immediately push towards Liurnia. Dino goes ahead and is going to be returning Box Needle here. So he's already set up Bach. He has to kill the demi-human family, and then he will just return the needle to Bach, and that will be the square on row 1 for Dino. Additionally, that will be his second cave.
Right.
Also, another Limgrave boss. We do have Limgrave bosses on the board, top right corner. So this will also be Dino's second Limgrave boss. We'll also go full screen with him. Dino was using the tech that Nexus found, where you can get a guaranteed stagger, but not when you summon Eastfon because of the increased poise. If you guys do not know, if you summon a if you summon a gold spirit, the bosses have increased health and poise. So as a result, the script that Nexus found does not work.
Wow, this is crazy, Nick. Dino was in a very hairy situation, did a great job of getting out.
I don't know what's happening.
Kind of just bullying the two demi-humans in this corner.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy, but it's also pretty fast, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, very effective. Kind of a chaotic battle, kind of like Dino. He's a chaotic player.
Yeah, Dino does get the boss killed, so now he just needs to return to the cave entrance and give the sewing needle back to Bach, and that will be the square complete. Rambler here is just going to be running through Liurnia, popping some balloons, as well as doing the halberd check, most likely. And there is Box Needle for Dino.
Honestly, now that Rambler sees that he's done consumables and Box Needle, I think he's never going to touch Weeping Limgrave bosses. Like, that's enough prio to probably never want to go for that, especially because you have 0 and there's not that many synergies left on the board with that square.
Is Dino going to kill Tree Sentinel here? I think he might. I mean, it makes sense. So this is interesting. Like, you are kind of gambling for a check here, but it is a Limgrave boss as well as a boss that rides a horse. Both are squares on the board. And you get a halberd check. Halberd checks are very valuable. We would not see this done if not for the halberd check, but I mean, if this is Dragon Halberd or something, that could be game-changing. I also did not see what the halberd check was for Rambler there.
Dang it, I missed it as well.
If anyone in chat did, I would appreciate it. Nice roll by Dino there. It was Golden Halberd for Rambler, so a very, very good weapon. Not Dragon Halberd. It's not game changing, but a very good somber weapon.
Cute. What the fuck? Press it. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Dino just gets it there. Nice fight.
All right, so that's a third Limgrave boss and a horse boss for Dino, and let's see what the weapon is. It is Gargoyle's Black Halberd, so not what he would have been looking for. Not a bingo viable weapon.
Okay. Yeah, excited to see a G-Help game. Oh, very... Okay, wow.
Yeah,
so
this
Dino's
is a
just
very aggressive opener by Dino, so he's going to go ahead and finish caves here. Also, this will be a fourth Limgrave boss for Dino, but he's going to be very far behind in map progression. Normally, we see players go ahead and try to worry more about their character progression. Kind of an out of character play just for the league's meta at the moment, but a very aggressive early game play from Dino here.
Mm-hmm. I think Dino's feeling like this isn't a very late game board. He has square off. He feels strong. he's trying to milk this energy, get a few extra squares out of it right now, and then he'll probably hard commit to setting up afterwards.
Mm-hmm. I think Rambler here is going to go ahead and look to block the bottom left to top right diag, maybe preemptively. Grabbing the Academy key, he at least will set himself up for Top's Academy key.
Yeah, you got Tops, and the only other thing I could really see coming out of that is Bellbearing Hunters.
It's Rick.
And Icons.
Oh, and Icons, okay. Yep.
Dude. Did Squareoff get nerfed? Without me knowing.
All right,
Nice
there's Rick
kill.
down. That is 3 caves. Rambler might be a bit surprised by that.
Expected.
No, he said he expected it. I don't know that he will have accounted for the tree scent kill. That seems a bit weird. But, it's not weird. Like, it makes sense, but not a super standard play, right?
Yeah, but I liked it a lot. I mean, if that was a good halberd, that would have been huge.
Yeah, I mean, if that's Dragon Halberd, that's game changing. I mean, it's a part of the randomizer, right?
So you can see at the board, like a lot of squares are developing around center square. Whereas if one of the players gets center square, that's either going to be a huge threat on a bunch of lines or a nice block on a bunch of lines. So center square is starting to become a lot more valuable.
We'll say I do think the row 2 could potentially look really strong with Top's Key and Icons. Eleonora for Altus access. Like, there's good reason to kill avatars. Also, I mean, if you want, you can do 2 of them in Caelid to make progress towards Caelid Altus bosses. Rambler already has 1 boss in Caelid. Very, very strong on that row 2. Also, the added strength from the Divine Birdhelm will help Rambler. You need 20. It is 30 strength for the Golden Halberd, so with 2-handing, that is 20. And that will help him a lot work towards that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of could mean he could avoid going to Fort Faroth. I don't know if that's the play to make. Trying to see if it's worth. I was wondering what is the Altus axis play here. But if Rambler's going to Liurnia, I mean, he's going to Academy, I should say. Maybe it's
this
a Virgins
seems
play?
like a mix between Virgins or either Virgins or Faroth, right? Like, if we see a lightning weapon, it's definitely Virgins. Lightning does extra stance damage as well as actual damage for every hit. So if we see a lightning damage, that does make Virgins quite free. There's reason to go to Faroth, right, on this board. Just map progression wise, it gets you closer to the Somber 9. It gets you closer to potentially doing like the Putrid Avatar and Dragon Barrow as an Avatar and a Caelid boss. Same thing, potentially you could try to synergize the Caelid Bellbearing Hunter as well, but not a super strong Faroth game. We will see a roundtable check from Rambler here. Really good smithing weapons, but no somber weapons, Iron Balls and Great Stars. Rambler does go ahead and grab a parry shield there. And actually, Rambler going back to a Gill Lake North. Wonder what he's looking at here.
Yeah, we see Rambler do the Greatsword check. I want to have.
Yeah, we did.
Have to
We saw
think
Nilos.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dino's going to get Golden Halberd here.
Golden Helm.
I don't think you really heard it from Dino, but I do know he's pretty happy about that. I know he does really like Golden Halberd. Like when we talk about like the weapon tiers or whatever, you know, everyone kind of has their own ideas. Dino does seem to rate Golden Halberd a lot higher than the consensus.
It honestly feels like a golden halberd, a golden halberd kind of game. Like status effects would be okay, but having golden halberd on Valiant Gargs, if it comes down to it, is huge. A
Rambler
really good
grabs
weapon.
just a somber 1 there. I know he already picked up a 2-3 or a 3-4. If he has a 2, he could go get a somber 4 without EG. And actually, it looks like he's going to look at sort of Milos here rather than... He did pick up a 2, so Rambler gets a somber 4 without EG, a very fast somber 4 at 21 minutes.
Oh, nice.
And he's going to have that for Red Wolf here.
That's big for Rambler. He loves getting a weapon online as early as possible. That's really big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rambler already with a plus. I mean, this is for map progression wise a very strong start for Rambler. 22 minutes into the game. I mean, he has a square on the board. He has a +4 somber weapon. He has the ability to go pick up he already has a 6 in his pocket from the Falling Star Beast. He can go pick up a 5 in Caleb whenever he wants. And he's going to go ahead and get Top's Key here. Really nice routing by Rambler. So although he is behind on the board, the map progression is looking mighty fine for him. We'll see his Red Wolf fight.
Oh, nice. Kind of did that scream and Red Wolf jumped into it, so he actually got the debuff on Red Wolf as well.
One more hit will do it for Rambler here. Gets smacked by the Glint Blades, but very nicely done by Rambler there.
Clean. Now I wonder if he's going to fully commit to this Tops's Key. I mean, it's a good square to have. It's on the diag, sure.
I think he's going to sit on it for just a bit, going first step. Wouldn't surprise me if he's looking at avatars here. Going down to Weeping for Physic Tiers, Avatars, also sets up Cemetery Shade, right? Yeah. I think really strong. Obviously, you don't want to get sniped on Top's Key. Rambler does know that he has a little bit of time because Dino is behind on prep. And Dino actually just going back to Celia. So it looks like Dino here is going to go for Golden Halberd. And he will most likely need the 5 strength from Radagon's Sword Seal to get that online. This will also obviously make progress towards Dectus, but like we said, not necessarily a Dectus game, but without a lightning weapon easily accessible, it's going to be hard to do Virgins. Rambler will also kill Yura here. This will allow him to fight Eleonora once he gets into Altus and give him a katana check. So if you do get Dragon Scale Blade, you can easily pivot to that from Milos, and also get makes Virgins a lot easier. It is the Great Katana though, so. Not a game-changing weapon, but he does a nice check there and still sets up Eleonora for later.
Yeah, really good setup here, and I'm glad he's making progress towards center square. Like I said, I think that's going to be really important coming up here. So that center square, if you get it, is going to be a Dragon Barrel boss, center square, and a Limgrave boss. So
yeah. I mean, it'd be really difficult if Dino does get center square because immediately Dino has 3 threats coming off of it as well as blocking your threat on the diagonal because Dino will have 2 squares on a line for both the middle row, middle column, and the bottom left to top right diagonal. If Dino does get Cemetery Shades, that would put Rambler in a very difficult position.
And I think Rambler realizes that, and he's taking care of that now.
Actually, though, Rambler's running the other way in Weeping.
Maybe he wants this Central Grace. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like he just wants to grab a Grace there, and now we'll go return Tops's Key.
I mean, we're seeing classic Rambler, right? This is what he does. He sets up, he makes progress towards a square, pivots off, makes progress towards another square.
Yeah.
He's weaving a web.
It's been 17 minutes since Dino marked caves. If he was working on Top's Key, it's starting to get to that territory where he could snipe that off of Rambler, so Rambler needs to go finish that now if he does not get sniped. Obviously, we know that Dino's not working towards Top's Key, but Rambler has no idea about that.
Mm-hmm.
He marked his last square at 17 minutes, so it's been almost 10 minutes since Dino last marked a square. Rambler will need to kill this archer here, and then he's free to climb up that ladder. If you do not kill the archer, he will shoot you off.
We've seen a lot of good players die to that guy.
Yeah. And a lot of bad ones. You know, he does not discriminate.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I think Dino actually is also going to go for Sword of Milos. But because Rambler had the Divine Bird Helm, which is, I think is +3 strength, +4 dex, or the other way around. Rambler having that Divine Bird Helm, he was able to get it online without Source Seal, while Dino does need Source Seal. That being said, though, it will give Dino a bit of an advantage on Altus preparation.
That's true.
Which Altus always strong, not super good on this board. There's not a ton of Altus squares, but it is always powerful to have Altus access, as it just means there are certain squares that your opponent cannot get that you now have the ability to go grab. Dino going back to Stormhill now, looking at Margit. I know one thing Dino likes to do is he likes to kill Margit just for runes. And also, I can't imagine he goes and completes a square in Stormville, but it gets him runes and Stormville progress, which will be important for later. Squares like Godric's Great Rune, Remembrance, the Lion Guardian in there, two Tree Spirits. You know, there are definitely some squares that are Stormville adjacent. So it's good to make progress towards that. So Rambler does go ahead and complete Top's Key. I think Cemetery Shades and or Avatars at this point would be very strong for Rambler. And Dino's going to go ahead and fight Margit here.
I'm fine with that.
Dino greeds for the stagger and gets a big bleed proc.
Did he have enough cash? Is this an upgraded Milos?
I wanted to go for the jump attack.
No, he needs money.
But if I die,
it's definitely not plus. Definitely not +4, but I think it's got to be maybe 1.
It might be
+1
or 2 or something.
Yeah. Nice kill by Dino.
Nice kill by Dino. Rambler might be going for status effect Ashes of War here.
Yeah.
Killing this Knight's Cav. I mean, it's also a horse boss and sets him up for Spectral Lance. Or sets him up with Ice Spear, sorry, not Spectral Lance. So could create a threat on the column 4 here.
Oh, wow.
Because you can also kill the Knight's Cav and Kaled. That would additionally be a Kaled Dragon Barrel boss, as well as a horse boss and a Status Effect Ash of War.
Ooh. And Rambler has the tools to do it. I hope he makes that play. It's a really good shout, too. Because, I mean, look at that column 4.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if it's a bingo that you look to complete, but you can leave Valiant Guards and Somber 9 hanging, which are two very late squares, putting on a lot of pressure. This Knight's Cav is trolling the hell out of Rambler. This is Ring Around the Rosie, and he jumps out of nowhere.
God. And there he is. Off goes the Weasel.
Dino's also going to kill Yura here.
I mean, the more I see column 4, the more I really like it. Because Radon is a horse boss too that gives you access to Valiant Guards. All you need to get is the 3 easy Ash of Wars. And then Somber 9, yeah, it takes a little. It's a bit involved, but he already has Academy access. It wouldn't take much from him.
Yeah, and Rambler can go grab the Somber 5 here. Grab the one, I think it's Poison Mist Ash of War in the Swamp of Aeonia. Then go ahead and grab the Grace before the Night's Cab, upgrade to Somber 6, kill the Night's Cab, and then he only needs one more Status Effect Ash of War to immediately create a threat on that column 5. That being said, though, it's not a very fast line, and Dino, if Dino creates pressure with Cemetery Shades, or even just Avatars and Physic Tiers, right, Dino might be able to get majority before Rambler could actually get that line. It's one of those things when you have a super late game line, it's either depending on some players will just disregard it while other players will freak out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's, Valiant, yeah.
I will say, though, by Rambler going to do this play, he also gets closer to the Cemetery Shade in... Caelid, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a hot area he's in right now. Ashes of War, horses, Caelid bosses.
Rambler, they're
Cemetery
not
Shade
doing the
mistake.
perfume bottle check because they did make a gentleman's agreement to not go for that.
To each their own. Lightning perfume bottle would go hard in this scenario for Rambler, but I respect it.
All right, that is
2, right? Did he grab Hoarfrost? I don't think he did, so I think that's only 2 status.
yes, that is 2.
Dino's in Weeping, though.
Yeah, Dino going for the Erdtree Avatar here. Now, Dino's weapon is not +4, but it is slightly upgraded. You can see by the damage. Like, damage is good, but not great. We'll go back to the dual screen, though, as Rambler gets prepared to fight the Night's Cab in Caelid.
Let's go, Rambler. Not only is this guy a Flail Knight's Cav, which sucks, but he's Caelid, so he hits harder, has a lot more health. This is kind of a dangerous fight.
All right, Dino gets that Avatar down. Rambler's basically on 1 and dies.
Yep.
And I don't think he grabbed a Grace.
Wow, he just went for it. Okay. Well, he has the shoreline, which isn't too far away. Now, that wasn't a curse. I was just acknowledging how strong that boss is and how dangerous it can be.
Yeah, I think Dino here is going to go for Avatars and Physic Tiers.
Okay. It's a synergy play. I wouldn't say they're dead squares, but they don't make threats, and they don't block that column 4. I'm really concerned about that column 4.
I mean, the row 2, though, is also scary.
The row 2, yeah. It's there.
And it just puts you, it just increases your lead, right? Like, column 4 is scary, but it's also very long.
It is. Field guys getting involved here. I don't think it'll matter.
Nice job by Rambler there. Dino fighting the Erdtree Avatar in Liurnia. Dino also is already on 6 Limgrave Weeping bosses. He has Demi-Human Family, Bofa, Tree Scent, Rick, the Erdtree Avatar, and Margit dead.
Oh, wow. Good job on Dino for weaving that together nicely. Didn't really lose much time doing that. Yeah, and I think Rambler's idea is killing that Night's Cab and making his way to Fort Height for our Stash Dash 4 and
Yeah, that was pretty
Altus
close.
access.
Also says you got 4 guards, right, by having Fort Height.
That's right.
All right, that is Dino's second Erdtree avatar. Dino going back to Limgrave to Agil Lake North. I think he might be looking at the Limgrave Knight's Cab, giving him a second horse boss and a final Limgrave boss, but no, decides against it.
Yeah, I mean, for Dino, I'd say that's his best bet to block that line if you saw it as a threat. Going horse bosses, but okay, we'll see what he's got cooking here.
Rambler, I think, is just going to run to EG here, actually deciding against going for that Knight's Cap and Kaled. It would have been strong synergy, but just after the death doesn't want to take the risk, so he will just run to EG and pick up Hoarfrost Stomp, which is good as well because it sets him up for Altus, right? 1/2 of Dectus and Hoarfrost and Bellum access.
Yeah, I think Rambler will probably come back to that Night's Cab, I hope. Oh, well, I guess not, because this is going to be his
Yeah.
fourth?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I actually think Dino here is just going to go to third church, setting himself up for Physic Tears better, and go ahead and get the Erdtree avatar or Putrid avatar in Kaled as his final avatar.
Which will put him at, well, he's killed 3 avatars, so that's at least
that'll
6
be his
physic
third.
flasks.
Yep.
So 6 physic flasks plus whatever ones you can scrounge up. You got 1 here in third church, a couple in Mistwood.
And Strength Tear would do it.
That's right.
Rambler also upgrading 2 Somber 6 at EG, so Rambler with a big weapon advantage here.
Oh.
Did Rambler go into Fort Height?
I don't think he did. That would seem too quick. I think he grabbed the Grace.
Okay, Rambler does upgrade to +6 at EG and is going to level.
Oh, he's going to go back for the horse.
He's going back for... Yeah, it is such a strong synergy play with Horse bosses, Status Effect, Ashes of War, and Kaled Dragon Barrel bosses, right? It is incredibly valuable.
Attaboy, Rambler. I really like the aggression that he's pulling out today. I think he knows that he has to be he has to play like this. Yeah, this is great.
Also, I know Rambler does think differently than most people, but for me at least, I would prefer to go out on my shield and lose because I tried to make a play rather than and failed rather than never going for it, right?
Yeah.
The Somber 6 meal is doing a lot of damage. This Knight's Cab is pretty tanky.
Yeah, those are just R1s. Beautiful.
And he will get the bleed. And this is he doesn't even have the buff off, actually.
Nice. I think he just bled the horse. He can still bleed the
Yeah.
knight.
Dino is fighting the Putrid Avatar. Rambler knocks the Knight's Cab off the horse. There's a bleed proc. One more R1 will do it for Rambler here. Nice job by Rambler. This will be Dino's final avatar.
That puts Rambler at
3 Satisfact
Kaled.
Ashes of War. And 2 Kaled
Yep.
bosses.
yeah, exactly.
And 3 horse bosses because he has 3 Knight's Cabs dead.
Okay, guess you don't want to fucking play the game with me then.
Whoa.
Rambler's doing a crazy little skip here to get down to the Cemetery Shade.
He is stuck in a nook, and I don't know if he can get out.
He can, he just needs to dismount. Oh my god, there's a bird!
Oh, God. That's the bird's house. Don't go in there.
Should be dead here.
Meanwhile, Dino gets the kill.
No, gets the kill. Let's see if Rambler can.
Okay.
Nope, didn't work.
Whoa. Dang, that was okay.
Yeah.
He made that look harder than it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Now
here
this
we go
Shades race, I think Rambler might lose it now.
Oh. Yeah.
Dino still has to run to the one in Caelid, but Rambler has to run to the one in Weeping, and Dino's in Tombsword Catacombs with the Limgrave Cemetery Shade, or Weeping Cemetery Shade right now. This will also be Dino's final Limgrave Weeping boss. Oh, Dino's in trouble here.
Oh, God. Oh, wow. That could have been close. Okay, I think we were a little premature on the Ash of War. This finally is Rambler's last one.
Yeah, this is Rambler's last one. All right, Rambler kills the knight there and gets 4 Satisfact Ashes of War. We'll check in with Dino as he's about to fight the Cemetery Shade here.
I'm working on this. What a trash game.
Dino gets the first Cemetery Shade down, but I think Rambler here is actually just going to go do horse bosses. He sets the time to night, so he's eyeing horse bosses in the column 3 pressure or column 4 pressure, because he just needs
this column.
He just needs this Knight's Cav and then Tree Sentinel, and that'll be 5 horse bosses for Rambler.
This column is awesome. This is a game-winning column, whether it pressures your opponent to go do some of these unfortunate squares or you just win off of it. Like if he gets +9 and just, it's like a one-way ticket to go kill Gargs.
We also did see him grab a parry shield from Roundtable, presumably for the Godskin Noble.
Holy shit, that's awesome. There it is.
Nice job by Rambler there.
I mean, the thing is, Dino's been giving Rambler a constant flow of information, so he knows exactly where Dino is and has been. So he's not worried. I don't think he's necessarily worried about like going for this bingo or not. He might just go for it based off what he sees Dino has done.
All right, there's 5 horse bosses for Rambler.
Game on.
Dino's going to see that.
Pressure.
There's the 4 bosses, the 5 bosses. Yeah, he did that with Ashes of War, which is good play.
Dino going for the skip as well.
A little cleaner there from Dino.
Yeah, Rambler might be going for Sem Shades again here, and if he does, he will get sniped.
Wow. I'm surprised. I guess.
Either that or just setting up Radahn for Gargs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, is there a Somber 7 underground before Gargs?
Yep.
Before
If
Gargs?
Yep. If you kill the Knight, if you kill the Crucible Knight, it drops a Somber 7. That's actually insane. I'd do that.
That would be really good.
That'd be really freaking good. Fuck Noble. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure Rambler knows that, but will he think of that? That was a really good... wow.
Rambler dies again here going for the skip. The skip is killing him.
Okay. Yeah. I think this is a skip that Rambler may just skip.
Do the skip?
Yeah. Or is it a Somber 6? Maybe I'm bullshitting and that's not true at all. That Crucible Knight drops a Somber 7. I don't know if that's true.
Why is backstab no work?
I think it is a
Why
Somber
you
6.
Okay, because yeah, that would be too.
But
I feel
there
like we
is
would
a
have known
7.
about-
There is a 7 in deep. There is a 7 in deep root.
Okay.
So you could do Gargs with a +6, and then get a 7 in deep root after Gargs.
And here's a little threat building for Dino now.
Mm-hmm.
This will probably stop Rambler from sending it on a line.
I don't
Here's
know
what the block is.
what the middle, which block, the middle column.
Yeah, column 3 there. I think.
I mean, you got to get
The
Altus.
obvious-
It's icons.
You think? What about Vike though?
You could also try for Vike.
But you see, Dino has 3 avatars. Maybe you're thinking he already has that set up, so you probably don't go for Vike.
Rambler does level Arcane a little bit. Interesting. Ramblers are going for Crucible Knight Misbegotten Warrior duo.
What the heck?
They both are.
Whoa.
What?
Same brain cell. This is a very curious play. I would never have guessed this. It's a Dragon Barrel boss. It's Lion Guardians.
Oh, Lion Guardians, duh.
Lion Guardians. Interesting. Well, Rambler has a large weapon advantage on this.
And a bit of a health advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is Lion Guardians and Crucible Knight Misbegotten Warrior duo here. Which, if Dino gets both of these, right, the row 5, it could be very strong.
Oh, wow. Both on the ladder at the exact same time.
Yeah, Rambler's slightly ahead, but... Actually, they're literally neck and neck.
Wow. Rambler broke the trash. So did Dino.
Yeah. Rambler does have a weapon advantage. Rambler does have a +6. I think Dino grabbed the Somber 5. But Rambler's character is better. That being said, it's not enough of a difference that it's going to come down. Like, it's going to still come down to execution, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they
wow,
actually
okay.
are both going Crucible Knight Misbegotten Warrior duo, not Lion Guardians. Okay.
Let's get it.
All right, we'll see what happens. Rambler
Dino's
gets
damage.
clocked, but only eats the first hit.
Having them side by side, you can see that +6 versus that +4.
Also, Rambler got the Shriek off while Dino didn't. That's actually the biggest reason for the damage difference.
Oh, nice Shriek by Rambler.
Yeah, the Shriek is minus 20% damage resistance for bosses or enemies that are hit by it. So Rambler does get that first, the Misbegotten Warrior down first, but now comes the Crucible Knight, and really this is the longer part of the fight.
Now, if you
Dino
want to break
has to
up
drop
the parry
back to heal. Also, Crucible Knights do not bleed.
and resistant to slash, which
I
maybe
think
this doesn't do slash.
I think it's standard.
Yeah. But if you wanted to break out that parry shield he picked up, I think you could get away with that.
Sword of Milos is standard and Pierce.
Okay. Good luck getting a streak off on this guy.
I mean, a lot of
Even
it's
though
honestly going to come down to a lot of RNG in phase 2 if he flies away a lot. Nice job by Rambler there, strafing the tail, just ducking under with the R1. I mean, this could be a double snipe here too, because it could immediately go into Lion Guardians.
Yeah. I'm so surprised they went for this first.
I am too. Dino gets a stagger, and I mean, he's right there. Rambler might be close to another stagger, though.
Ooh.
One more
Yeah,
hit for
he's
Rambler will
stalling.
do it.
Wow, he stalled like crazy on Dino at the end there.
And Rambler gets it. Square goes to Rambler.
Nicely done.
No.
Locked in, I'd say.
Fuck.
Dino's
off,
in shock
Rambler.
and then dies. He
You-
probably wanted that kill anyways for the rune. I mean, he had 38,000 runes, so he has to go back in. That would have been another, I don't know, I think it's like 20,000 for that fight and a Caelid boss. Dino did not want to take that death. I'm not sure. I think he was just shocked about the mark.
He was dumbstruck.
I mean, absolutely brutal snipe. I mean, that's Caelid bosses, and again, I'm not exactly sure how many they give, but over a 50,000 rune loss.
Yeah, Dino acknowledging the +6 difference. Wow. What a disaster. I hate to say it, but
Oh, I mean, that's an absolute disaster for Dino.
I mean, he didn't lose the runes. He can get them back.
Yeah. Both players now making their way towards Altus.
Huh. What is this? What is this invisible threat that they're both seeing that I'm not? Both doing the same play.
I mean, Valiant Guard Somber 9, right? Also, I mean, Rambler could also maybe even make a threat on the column 2, even. Eleonora is a fast Altus square. Tree Spirits is easier with Altus. You kill Radon, then kill Godric for Remembrance. Sleeping Golem's a hang up there, but
They both have weeping, so it's not too
Yeah.
bad. Dino getting the grace. He knows it might
Yeah.
come down to Gorgs.
I'm so shocked they both went for duo first. I would have gone Lion Guardians if the idea is the block, right?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They both went for Crucible Duo, and then they both pivoted off to go to get Altus access. It's, I mean, there's something that they're seeing. I mean, I guess, column 2.
Also, just simply put, a lot of the squares that are left are Altus, right?
Yeah.
Eleonora, Radagon's Icons, Valiant Gargs, Tree Spirits is easier with Altus, 30 Arcane after Radon. There's a lot of Altus. A good percentage of the remaining squares at this point are Altus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not a strong Altus, not a super strong Altus board, like 11 squares are gone at this point. We are almost an hour in the game. Dino's gonna go back here for his runes. I think Dino should try to somehow force Rambler into 30 Arcane. If Dino can force Rambler into 30 Arcane somehow, it'd be really hard because of the icons, right? But
Right.
Rambler only started with like 7 Arcane, and going for 30 Arcane on a board with Gargs like that's over 20 levels that Rambler could invest elsewhere.
Yeah, but I do think that's going to be tricky to make Rambler do it.
Yeah.
He's got so many other 2 easier options.
All right, so Rambler will be the first one into Altus. No, so for anyone wondering if Arcane helps Milos, it does not. If you have a weapon with native bleed, the bleed can scale with Arcane, but you need the weapon itself to do Arcane scaling, right? So that is why like a Colt is so good, particularly a Colt Starfist, because Arcane does increase status buildup for bleed, poison, and rot, but only if the weapon scales with Arcane. Sword of Milos does not scale with Arcane, so it does not get a blood loss increase.
Dino beelining for Academy. That's a bit surprising.
Not rot. My apologies. Bleed. Apparently not rot, according to BZ.
Not rot. But I mean, this sets up Icon, sure, but wouldn't you want Altus first? Maybe grab that Eleonora quick?
You might just be hoping that Rambler sits on icons. Holds prio.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, what is
also,
trying-
I mean, could be Noble for Somber 9.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems likely.
Yeah, also, I know chat is a little bit surprised that Rambler is investing a couple levels into Arcane. I'll kind of explain that for anyone who is newer to Bingo. Basically, it is a generally accepted principle that you should not pre-level for a stat dump square. The reason why is because if your opponent gets the stat dump square before you've completed it and you've pre-leveled, all those runes and levels that you've committed are simply just wasted, right? Unless your weapon scales with it or something. In this case, Arcane is purely for the stat dump. So those levels would just be simply wasted.
Okay, Rambler's getting Altus. Dino's getting Classroom.
Yeah, we'll see for Dino if this is a Noble play or an Icons play.
I like the Somber 9 block because that's only going to set him up for the rest of the board really nicely.
I think it is. I think Dino is going to look at Icons here.
Wow, okay.
Rambler going straight for Radon.
Yep.
No, actually going for Lion Guardians.
That works too.
All right, we'll see Dino fight the Red Wolf here. So when the festival is active, almost all of Red Main Castle clears out. The only exception is these two Lion. One of the only exceptions is these two Lion Guardians, which do stay here.
Dino getting sliced up.
Yep, we will go to the dual screen.
Now, Rambler gets Lion Guardians and takes Dino's last bingo off the board.
No, column 3.
No. Column 3, of course. I should know.
Rambler's getting absolutely pieced up by this Lion Guardian.
Yeah, what is that? One flask left?
No flash left.
There it goes.
One more hit will do it, but he has a whole nother Lion Guardian to kill. Oh, and he gets a flask regen, but it's blue. Or no, he doesn't get a flask regen. Sorry, that was just the Sword of Milos gives you FP back when you kill an enemy. Is Dino going to go ahead and kill Crucible Knight Misbegotten Warrior Duo here?
What the heck?
I mean, it is a Kaled boss, and I guess wants his money back?
I don't want to be too judgmental of the play. I'm not seeing it clearly. Okay, there's his money. That's good.
Rambler's having, so far at least, a much cleaner fight with the second Lion Guardian. Oh, gets a stagger. That'll do it. That'll be 2 Lion Guardians for Rambler.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, you got Lion Guardians.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Dino just come back here and grab his runes, but I'm...
Yeah,
And there's
fully
no
committed to it.
there's no Colossal Armaments only.
No. It's just a Kaled boss at this point.
I think Rambler's going to go Icons here.
Holy shit.
He can get sneaking up there.
Rambler does miss the little skip there. It's not been a good day for Rambler and skips. The man who normally hates skips breaks him out, decides to break him out in effectively a playoff game. And then they don't go his way.
Yeah.
All right, Rambler, you win. Oh, but Rambler, after the death, decides not to go for Icons, and now is going back for Radon.
Okay. A lot of interesting pivots. I mean, maybe Rambler's saying, fuck it, we ball with Valiant? No. He needs
I mean,
the
you
Somber
could,
9
right, with the
first.
Somber 7. Well, with the Somber 7 and Deep Root, right? You can, like, Deep Root actually is viable for the Somber 7, 8, 9.
So it is a Somber 7?
In Deep Root, after
Oh,
Barbs, not before.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, after Gark, so kill him with a +6, then just +9
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, if this is enough for Dino to get 30 Arcane,
He gets the kill, though. Good job, Dino. He wanted the Somber 5.
Oh, the boys. Get a few more hits.
Okay, he's getting upgraded. He's getting ready for Gargs. He's going to do Falling Star Beast, get the 6. Maybe that'll be his last.
Dino's only 2 levels off of 30 Arcane.
Rambler could potentially get it with this Radon kill.
Well, if Dino wants to make this column 3 work, I feel like he should kill a Godfroy for the that should give him enough runes for 30 Arcane.
Yeah, that would do it. Ooh, powerful move from Radon. Nice dodge. Really solid first phase fight from Rambler.
All right, we'll go to the dual screen. Dino fighting the Falling Star Beast on the left. Or on the right. Rambler in second phase, Radon. One more bleed proc at this point will pretty much do it. There we go, and that's also Rambler's. This Rambler's 4th Caelid boss.
And this
How
should
many
be
is
Dino's
this?
4th or 5th even. Let's do a count.
Dino did Shade. He's got to do FSB,
Avatar. Crucible.
Crucible. It'll just straight to him. And then Rambler did FSB, Redan, Duo, and Cav.
And he did an earlier one too. Oh yeah, FSB. Yeah. So 4 and 4.
Yeah, they were both on 4. They were both on 4 Caelid bosses. Dino here does upgrade to a Somber 9. I think Rambler's gonna go for 30 Arcane.
Well, not quite Somber 9. Somber 6.
Somber 6. Yeah, sorry. Rambler might get sniped just a hair here. I think his idea is to go for the Putrid Avatar in Dragon Barrow as his final Caelid boss, and then eat the Foul Foot to get 30 Arcane. But Dino will snag Caelid bosses from him if he looks like he's going for Pumpkinhead Duo as his final Caelid boss.
And Rambler did dump his stats into something. I didn't see if his health bar got any bigger, or that must have been an arcane dump then, right?
Yeah, they're both really close to 30 Arcane.
Yeah, a lot is riding on these Caelid bosses. And
Yeah, Rambler did pre-dump into Arcane. He's at 19.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And
19.
Rambler could get burned here on the pre-level. Dino might have enough with Falling Star Beast and Duo to get Arcane. So Rambler might get burned really hard here.
Yeah.
I
And
think
Milos
he's
is
already
not-
invested 11 or 12 levels into Arcane that could have gone elsewhere.
That's Garg. Those are Garg runes. Garg levels.
We'll stay full screen with Dino. Rambler is in the fight, but this fight will end a hell of a lot sooner, and then we'll go full screen with Rambler once Dino's done here.
I was just gonna say Milos is not the fastest weapon for Erdtree Avatar, the big
All right,
one.
Dino gets it down. That's the 5th Caelid Dragon Barrow boss.
Okay.
Rambler just saw the mark.
I think he commits.
Well, let's see if Dino gets 30 Arcane here. No, Dino's going Icons.
No. He's not. He's going Bell-Bearing Hunters, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like it is Bell-Bearing Hunters.
Sitting on 78K.
I think Dino can sit and level at any point and get 30 Arcane.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's gonna have to sit to get this.
Well, he
knight.
might sit right at the start of the Church of Vows
Exactly.
and then get it. Also, he will take an 8-6 lead. Additionally, he has massive prio on Physic tiers. I think he's at like 8.
Yeah. There's the
Yeah,
dump.
Dino's gonna sit and level, and there's 30 Arcane.
Okay. Rambler just... he wanted that arcane square. That's very interesting.
Dino should
think-
not go Bell-Bearing Hunters here.
Oh my god.
He should go.
No.
If Dino knew, there's actually a skip that I used, a crazy freaking skip that I used to do from the All Bosses speedrun, where you go from Church of Vows to the Erdtree Avatar near Vike.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be really strong.
I would love to see that. Didn't Saitari show us something like that?
Yeah, Saitari was the one who taught it to me.
Yes, that is huge. If you, yeah, that would be really nice. It's just some torrent parkour on some really high rocks. Rambler's gonna go icons here. It's funny, they're both avoiding Vike like the plague.
Mm-hmm.
Too easily sniped, I think.
Yeah, I think both players are scared of getting sniped. Gotta say though, after this icons block, I think Rambler might need to think long and hard about potentially just going for this bingo on column 4.
Yeah, I liked it. I really like it still.
I mean, Dino's up 2 squares right now. He's in a good spot for majority. I mean, technically, Rambler, well, I'm not if you don't count Mimicked here, Rambler can end this game in 1 fight.
Yep. Well, he will have to fight Noble too, though.
No, because they on Somber 7 and Deep Root.
Oh,
I'm sure Rambler knows about that. I remember recently Rambler was running around Deep Root seeing if there was any way you could make it viable for something. I know for a fact Rambler knows about that.
I'd believe that. That is a Rambler thing to do. Where is it? By the Erd tree? At the top of the board?
I don't know. There's a few down there. I don't know exactly where it is, but he does. I'm sure. Stocko, I'm a commentator. I don't need to know exactly where it is. I just need to know that it's there.
It's there and it's a play. Yeah. The thing about Rambler going for it now is that now he's down squares. Before he was up and he could have sent it and been a little safer, but now Dino's close to 12, 13. It's a little scarier.
All right, will be the first icon for Rambler. He just needs to go grab the second one in Raya Lucaria.
Hey, look at this.
Oh, he's actually going Vike. He's
All right,
mid-grounding.
slow down, Banal.
You know what? This could
Turns
be
out
2
Bernal.
squares for Rambler.
Bernal is a menace, ladies and gentlemen.
This guy's
Don't
cracked.
get it twisted.
Dino. Don't pull a Sacco and die to Bernal. He doesn't.
Okay.
Gets the hammer. Grey Stalker hammer.
Hey, that's good
Wait, is
armor.
it
I'd throw that on for
another
Valiant
Grey hammer that he
Guards.
drops?
All right, this will be Dino's second Bellbearing Hunter.
Dude, why can he get so many hits on this guy before he fucking spawns in? Nice life.
All right, Rambler is going to go for Vike here.
Look at that tiny little frenzy bar. I think that helmet makes him very vulnerable.
It might reduce your focus, yeah.
Dino possibly making a similar play, just a few minutes behind.
It does
Rambler.
reduce focus by 45.
Wow. Rambler grabbing the Grace and moving elsewhere.
He's going to go finish icons.
He's really splitting the square. Okay.
Well, because Dino marked Bellbearing Hunters, he now knows that he's not working on icons at the current moment.
I see.
But Rambler could go icons, and then Dino might just go kill Vike anyways, because it's a quick square, and Rambler could snag that from him. That would make it a 9-8 game. But keep in mind, Dino literally, like, Physic Flask is free for Dino.
Yeah, I don't think Rambler ended up killing that avatar.
Mm-hmm. All right, there's icons for Rambler. See where Dino goes.
There's icons. Fuck, that probably means he's going straight for Eleonora.
Dino thinks he's going straight for Eleonora, and he is.
Oh, wow. Good read by Dino.
If Dino actually commits to the read and goes Vike, that would be insane.
Well, Dino thinks Rambler's going for Eleonora, which he is.
Yeah, it's what he
right?
said, right? But we'll see if he actually, if it's words or if it's action, because calling that Rambler's going for Eleonora and then you going Vike would be very strong. I mean, Eleonora is good for Rambler. There's a way you could get a like Rambler has Radon dead. Mm-hmm. The Sleeping Golem and Lanedale, like the column 2 could come into play here for Rambler. And Dino's going Vike.
Okay.
Good call by Dino.
We're gonna see. I think we're gonna see the first Vike skip of the season. Honestly, I don't even think Vike's been done yet. I know we have.
It's been done.
It's been done. Okay.
I don't think we've seen the skip though.
We have not seen the skip. Yeah, because Rambler could do Remembrance, and Stormveil. That's a pretty strong column, yeah. Late game column.
Also, Remembrance on Godric is effectively a double square with Godric's Great Rune.
Oh wow, yeah.
Dino's not going the skip, by the way.
Are we sure?
Isn't this where the skip is? Oh, did I miss it? Well, we'll go full screen with Rambler if Dino starts to do the skip.
Yeah, he skipped.
Eleanor does heal. Both Rambler and Eleanor are just screaming at each other.
It's a scream off.
All right, Rambler gets Eleanor down. Great call by Dino there.
Okay, I just go back now.
I mean, Dino.
I was thinking of grabbing the Gracia and then running
Guess
to Eleanor.
what's the
and see
harm
if
in
he
getting the
clicks it.
square, right? He probably should get it.
Rambler's going to go for Stormveil. Stormveil gets him access to his Tree Spirit, Remembrance. Godric's Great Rune.
Yep. Good play. Wow.
Nice
That
job by
wasn't
Dino
bad.
there.
Vike just sat there and took every hit. Nice kill.
Yeah. I think it is a Tree Spirit race, but Dino... Rambler's a lot closer to the one in Altus if Rambler decides to go for it, but Dino's ahead in Stormveil. Big bleed. Actually, I think this will be a one cycle. Yep. Doesn't even phase transition.
Better be. +6 Milos. Okay, yeah, Tree Spirits definitely seems like the move.
Dino keeps getting hit on this run. Like, it's just slowing him down slightly.
Yeah, wow, look at that. Dino, yeah. Is it Tree Spirits or is it Remembrance into Great Rune?
Well, Dino hasn't killed a Remembrance boss yet.
No, he hasn't. So it is Tree Spirits for him, but I think like Rambler could just take the double square out of this Stormveil.
Dino's weapon is also level 6. They're the same. They're both level 6.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. Dino's going Tree Spirits. Dino's does not have an Altus Grace now.
What does Rambler have? I think he just has Junction, right? Did he go all the way up to?
I'm pretty sure he just has Junction.
Okay, so I think Stranded Graveyard would probably be still quicker, the quickest of the three, or the quickest of the two.
I don't need to go round table. Don't need to waste my time. Stagger.
Oh,
Dino greets for the stagger, still gets hit, survives on 1 though.
that is a classic Dino play. That's how he does it.
Fucking calculated.
There it
Shut up,
is.
Dino. That was not calculated at all. Dino does knowledge check there, grabbing the Stone Sword key right there.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, and Rambler's gonna be behind.
Gets the other Stone Sword key here at Stormhill Shack, so he doesn't have to go to Round Table. Yeah, this could definitely be a big snipe for Dino.
Gonna be a snipe.
Yeah, unless Dino dies somewhere, there's just no way this isn't a snipe at this point, right?
Yeah. Which is tough because Dino's gonna get up at 11.
Great roll by Rambler.
Okay.
I mean, Rambler goes for the one in Altus now. If Dino dies,
know.
there's a
6
chance.
weapon, we'll see how much damage
Yeah,
it is.
I think it's a death. It's gonna take a death.
See,
though.
my hope is he went to do the Altus one, and he's using Golden Halberd. So he just has less damage and has a run to the Tree Spirit. But I guess I did kill Vike in between. But Vike died really fast.
Okay, and Dino enters.
Yeah, this is +6, by the way.
Yeah, Dino calling exactly what Rambler's doing.
He's predicting the snipe.
He's just maybe not predicting the snipe, but saying like if it's a race, he knows exactly like saying where like
Stamina,
Rambler
so I can
would
hit
be,
his
and
head
so
when
he's
he
saying like,
staggers.
yeah, I know I'm good here.
Okay.
Missed his head, but still worked.
Yep. The post
Headshot here. And then killing.
and greed.
And that's two tree spirits.
Dino having a really good assessment of the
GG's,
situation.
folks. This is pretty much GG's.
Yeah, I think Dino. This is the right call. Dino just goes sleeping golem and lane dell and then finishes physic tears.
Oh wow, he held on to that the entire game.
Yeah,
Good for him.
there was a little reaction from Rambler. His audio was kind of quiet. He said, "I think that's GG's, folks."
Bart, that is really upsetting. For Rambler.
I mean, the problem with the Gargs is it's just it was too late of a line. Like those really late lines on an early board is just sometimes it's just too slow, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have to have some real balls to go for it early. He had the potential. He did have Academy, but it's a scary play to make, and you're just gonna sack every early score on the board. After that, it's like, it's pretty much an entire gamble. I understand why he didn't go for it. I'm not gonna get mad at him. But Rambler having a good read too. Also going for Sleeping Golem.
Yeah, you do not need to just if you're used to bingo brawlers, our rules are a little bit different. You do not have to block all the bingos to win by majority. It's either first to 13 or bingo.
Rambler's gonna be upset because I'm asking
The greed on the Altus on the Kaled bosses and 30 arcane into double snipe was game changing because if that doesn't happen, it's 10-9 Rambler right now.
Yep,
right?
that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's tough. There's potential for memeage here on this Guardian Golem.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
I used Milos in this at another time, and it was really bad.
Okay.
Yeah, Milos is
It's
not
not
good.
like
Dino
The
should
way the
actually
R2
use square
swings,
off
it hits his foot before it
Oh,
hits the
yeah.
weak spot.
for the staggers.
It's just gonna take 2. And he takes him down immediately.
Yeah.
One's
Okay.
work.
Brutal snipe.
Yeah, it's a brutal snipe. Rambler is technically not eliminated, but he will need Dino to lose both of his games here. Against
Now, if Dino,
Ra
Yeah.
and... Yeah, he'll need Dino to lose both his games against Ra and Helios.
I was gonna say if Dino just sacks everything and goes for Valiant Gargs, there's potential for Rambler to clean up the board, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, Dino's just going to go kill Godric and restore the Great Rune.
And Rambler making the last synergy play on the board,
Yeah.
which is a good idea, but it won't be enough. Oh. We saw Morgoth's sword and something else.
It was one of the Radon weapons.
Oh, that, yeah. That's not happening.
Ah, Mr. Wrist.
Rambler sort of running off into the mist
Yep.
as it ends for him shortly.
Yeah, it's a tough loss for Rambler for sure. Very tough loss for Rambler. And like I said, he's technically not eliminated, but he needs Dino to lose to Ra and Helios. And he needs to beat Ra. Which is possible, but
I mean,
unlikely.
of all the things to happen, I think like all those could happen. I feel like that.
Yeah, no, it is
scenario
definitely possible. It's just
It's
low
possible.
odds. Yeah.
Helios is tough to beat. Ra could surprise us and just play as exceptionally.
Mm-hmm.
And Rambler could beat Ra. It could happen.
Well, and Ra could actually get in too. If Ra beats Rambler, Ra still plays Rambler and Dino. Those are his last two games. So if Ra beats Rambler and Dino, Ra will get in.
Okay, well, we'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Dino never took the bait for that, which is
Yeah.
smart. It's pretty obvious. I think that line only works as a bingo, not as a bait. Well, not on this board at least.
Yeah, it's an aggressive line. It's a go for it line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It works if you kill Gargs early and do the Somber 9 behind. It also is a line that works better if you're up on square count, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Especially Dino has shown he does not like to get bullied into doing a square because of a line threat. And he likes to, because he's done that to other players, right? And he knows how strong it can be to force someone into a square. So he basically just said, screw it, Rambler, if you want to kill Gargs and that's how my season ends, fair enough, right? And Rambler didn't go for it. Right, that's simply what it was.
Yeah, that is sort of a veteran play from Dino. Then you gotta respect that. Yeah. Can we check in with Rambler to see if he has any closing thoughts for us?
I mean, we'll talk. We'll do a post-match interview. We'll talk to him afterwards.
Okay. All right.
We'll talk to him afterwards. I want to give him a minute to collect his thoughts, right? I mean, he's put a ton into this season.
Absolutely.
Obviously disappointing, right?
Yeah, be it first for him not to qualify for an event. He's been a hell of a player.
Yeah.
Throughout his bingo career.
Yeah, I mean, Dino still has work to do. He has to beat Ra, right? He
Yeah.
can lose to Helios and it's fine. Dino could actually get the 3 seed though. If Asim loses to Strump and Dino wins out, he could overtake Asim for the 3 seed. And that Godric's Great Rune will do it. GG's to Dino.
Wait for the thing.
Exciting game, really interesting plays, good pivots. Well done, boys.
Something definitely went wrong with Rambler there. Now I want to know what.
Well, GG's for Dino there. I'll go ahead and Aaron will join when he's ready, and then we will bring Dino in here. GG's, Dino. GG's. Congratulations on the win, man.
GG's. Thank you. I didn't expect to win this whatsoever, but here I am.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big one for you. I think I'm curious, like with the column 4, did you kind of just say to yourself, like, if Rambler does Gargs, fair enough, right? Like,
the way I thought about it, I didn't have any academy access, so I was like, okay, if he just rushes it, I can't beat him to it anyway. Then I was like, and if I go for it and he does majority, I can't win that way either. I either need to just beat him to majority or hope he skill issues at Gargs long enough for me to throw in my own bingo. And then once he started like blocking other bingos, not going for his line, I was like, okay, this is just a majority game. He's not going for it.
Yeah, because we were talking about the play where he could have potentially killed Gargs and grabbed the 7 in deep root.
No one's ever going to do that.
This would have been the situation where it would have worked, right?
Yeah.
I think if you're going to do those 2 squares, you just get a +9 for Gargs to have way less skill issue potential, basically.
Yeah.
It was tempting, but you had a really good read on the entire game. I mean, I know you said you shouldn't have won this. I think maybe you're thinking that when you got sniped on Crucible Duo.
That was rough.
Well, there were some rough snipes for you because
I'm assuming so.
He was fighting the Putrid Avatar and Dragon Barrow when you marked 30 Arcane. That would have been his 5th Caelid boss and 30 Arcane for him.
Oh, so he greeted for the 5th. Oh,
yeah, that was a double snipe for you. You also got him on Tree Spirits.
Welcome in, Rambler.
Yeah, I figured Tree Spirits would be a snipe.
Oh, and weirdly enough, you got him on consumables too.
That was the most stupid consumables anyone's ever done.
GG's.
GG's, Rambler. Welcome in.
Yeah.
I apologize for the snipes, Rambler, but you sniped me,
Yeah.
so I can snap you back.
Yeah, no, that's the nature of the game. No, man, it was heavy. Like I was the putrid like at half health when you marked 5 bosses. And
then
30
my
arcane
thought process
immediately
to steal
after.
it from you. Yeah.
Yeah, and you did it perfectly. So I was screwed at that point.
I guess that was the moment when it flipped around because Rambler was ahead, had a good grasp, had
He
that
really
threat.
did, yeah.
Rambler never thought about it, or were you tempted at any point?
About what?
Column
Column
4.
4.
Yeah, no, I mean, if he tried to do something else, like then like what I saw was like, okay, Cemetery Shades is a square that he can do like well with the other things on the board and like not be like behind. So I think he will do that, but I need to be in position to contest it. A couple of, like skip deaths that were like bizarre helped him get that square as well, and I was like,
Oh,
okay.
but you going for Cemetery Shades?
Not really, but like I died on the skip because I don't know how to do it properly.
Which skip?
The skip down.
Just
By the
watch
Caelid one.
back. Just watch back when you
that
need
one,
when you need
okay,
a good
yeah.
laugh.
I thought I was gonna die there too.
In any case, no, but I did it way weirdly.
Remember, you went into
Okay.
the birdhouse. You went into the little nook in there and was hanging
I
out.
didn't even know that was possible. Anyway, yeah, and like I think my main mistake was like because you were silent for a little while after the Cemetery Shade. I was afraid of like losing a couple things, so I did Crucible Knight without getting Radon first.
Same. I was in there with
Uh,
you.
okay, so that was like a sequence of snipes, and the difference was I did Lion Guardians.
Yeah, so I assumed you're gonna go straight for Lion's Guardians, and I was like, I think you have the +6 weapon at this point. I don't. I can't beat you to it. I'm gonna do other stuff.
Yeah, no, that was a very good call because Radon was my fourth. I was killing the Putrid for the fifth. I should
You
have
greeted for the 5 bosses,
Yeah, because I wanted 30 arcane more than I wanted 5 bosses, right? Like,
How'd you not get 30 arcane from Radon?
because I leveled a lot of vigor.
He also started. You
that's
guys
a
started different
mistake.
classes. He started with the Divine Bird Helm class, and that only had like 7.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. You didn't start
Yeah.
with Broadsword? You're psychotic.
Well, he had Bastard
No.
Sword and Divine Bird Helm. I actually,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
mean-
even see Bastard Sword. Whoops.
yeah. I mean, not considering with the arcane aside, I actually think Rambler had a better starting class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Bastard Sword.
Yeah, but I didn't take advantage by because I didn't do consumables immediately. I thought you were like either going to go for consumables or go for Falling Star Beast. So I
Yeah.
went for Falling Star Beast, got the gravity things, and because you didn't mark, I said okay, I'm gonna do
So,
consumables then.
do you want to hear about how my consumables went, Rambler?
Apparently very poorly.
I didn't fuck up the script. I was throwing him from too far away, so the damage fall off was too much, so I didn't have enough to kill him. So I quit out, grabbed the Kukris, got Torrent, bought more throwing knives, went back in.
Okay. Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
that's-
ridiculously
That's
stupid.
the snipe that is not my fault.
Yeah.
The game
all
was
the
so
others,
fucking
all the
dumb.
others you can pinpoint where I fucked up, but this one was not my fault then.
Rambler,
Yeah, I mean, remember you grabbed the gravity chunks? That was a really good aggressive play, and I thought if you just went in there with just chunks instead of going to buy daggers, it could have been even closer.
I don't know if it's enough. Has anyone tested it?
I think no matter what, Rambler was too far behind.
I had
guess.
10 intelligence as well. Like those things, they scale on intelligence.
Okay.
Rambler-
If I fucked up,
Question: I'm curious. Did you consider the Deeproot Somber 7?
I did.
See, I knew he did. I told you he
Oh,
did.
yeah.
I did. The problem was there were like other lines that were faster, so I had to
Mhm.
take care of those. But yeah, 100%. 100%. Like,
Towards the end,
That's awesome.
what were you going for towards the end? Like, what were you trying to get rid of?
well, I like. You mean after 30 Arcane?
After Eleonora, after you did Eleonora. Like, so you got sniped
Spirits.
at Tree Spirits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going for my second in Altus.
Yeah, I was hoping that, and I was hoping I'd have enough time to do the 2 easier ones.
Hmm.
It turns out I did. I did end up getting a +6
You
weapon
did
as
because
well, because I did
You
full
probably
Star Beast
killed
to catch
Margit
up.
as a Lingrave boss, right?
I did. I knew it was
Yeah,
going to come
I-
in handy.
Yeah, that was the difference. Yeah, that was the difference.
Well,
Did you not mark 10 physic flasks?
I have
Because-
9 in my inventory.
I cannot believe you didn't finish that.
I
What the
knew it was going to come in handy to hold on to it.
Damn.
But you were
Yeah.
12. At the point you're 12, you just go and get one.
No, but I want to double prep because I knew you had Eleonora killed.
But
I was
there's
like,
no
maybe
double prep. When
there
you're
is double
9.
prep. If you click anything on the board, I go grab my 10th one. Game's over.
But you're 9. Like, I had
also,
one.
also, what was ridiculous, Dino, was that you were at 8, and instead of just going to grab the 2 in Mistwood, you
I
got
had
the
got those
strength
2
tier.
already.
No, you
I got
had.
those two
I don't
already.
think you did you?
I did because when I
Oh,
went to
okay,
get full
never mind.
height, I went and grabbed them. Yeah.
Okay.
Makes absolutely no sense. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't he mark? Why didn't he mark? Like, you sniped me on Sleeping Golem as well. I was going there.
Yeah.
Did you have a grace there or no?
Nah. I had the Weeping Grace for Knight's Cavalry, kinda. Like
Yeah.
that
Oh, you
one
did
that like
that
in
Knight's
between.
Cav for horse boss. Yes, did you combine horse bosses with Ashes of War? I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
of
was
course. Okay,
sweet.
good play. Good play.
Yeah.
That was a good play, Rambler. And Caleb bosses for the the Knights Gavin.
Yeah. If I don't
Yeah.
fuck it up
Yeah.
by greeting.
Well, GG.
But the Lion Guardians was the main problem.
All right,
I'd say.
who's We know
Yeah.
you're a busy man tonight.
Yeah.
We'll finish up.
Yeah, GG's,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
GG's.
Rambler, you're not definitely eliminated. There still are some
Yeah.
scenarios where you can get in.
No, yeah, no, that's fine. I like my only goal now is to beat Ra, to finish strong, and not
Yes.
below 500. But I consider this season done. Like I like Dino would have to lose both his matches,
Mm.
and I don't think that's gonna happen. And even if it does, I might lose to Ra anyway. So, yeah. Thanks for like the opportunity to play again. Like, this has been fun, despite the the not so great moments sometimes. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
regardless
GG's
of what
Rambler.
happens, it was a great season, and like you said, Rambler's the head coach for Bingo. Everyone in this league, Golden Order, Crucible, etc. Every single person has gotten better at Bingo because of Rambler.
Because of
So,
Rambler, 100%.
No matter who wins, Rambler wins because that person will have won because of Rambler, in part. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Rambler.
Thank you.
Appreciate the hell out of you.
We'll see you in season 3.
Yeah, we'll see you next. We'll see you next week against Raw first.
I mean,
right?
season's
Things
not
can
over.
happen.
It's
Yeah.
not over.
Okay.
It's not over. Let's get my little revenge since Dino
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
his.
Well, we are gonna raid out to Twitch. We are gonna raid out to Torsad's YouTube chat. This will be the end of the stream. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow with more Crucible, or not with more Crucible, with more Convergence. Additionally, keep an eye out in both my Discord and Zero Scratch for Crucible matches. It's the final week of the Crucible. We still have there. I might be doing some commentary sporadically throughout the week since it is the final week of the regular season, and we might not be able to get all the games scheduled during the weekend. So keep an eye out for that. We will make announcements if it does happen. And peace out, everyone. I will see you guys all tomorrow.
Please become Elden Lord.